In this life, we all tend to overload on automation. One, two, three.
What's up, everybody out there? Loud from Maui. Yep, this is Ed, Joy, and Quinn, and this is our podcast. How's everyone out there doing? I hope you're doing good because we're doing fabulous. Once again, cold couple days. I swear there must have been like about 9 inches of snow dropped on Haleakala. Beautiful. Yeah, Quinn, did you see the pictures?
Yeah, it is nice. Yeah, that's like the longest we've had snow stay on there consecutively or whatever.
Yeah, for almost the whole
days.
week. Yeah,
Like
yeah.
3-4 days, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it was very interesting. It got down really low, like down to the 6,000 foot mark, I think. Something like that. But I know they closed off the road at the 2,000 mark. So, yeah, cold, cold, cold. There's some workers up there. They got frozen in.
Jeez.
Yeah, stuck,
Crazy.
stuck. Well, hey, everybody out there. I just wanted to say what's up. And we got some interesting things that we want to talk about. I know we're mostly fun and all that stuff, but we're gonna bring up an issue here that maybe will get you guys gears rolling, in the brain and make you think, and it's a hopefully possible solution. And the reason why I'm thinking about this is because last week we started getting into whether or not what is a continent, what is like Europe is a what is a continent, right? Europe's a continent, which is made up of all these different countries, right? Like Germany, France. So the UK is the United Kingdom, which is a bunch of smaller, what is that? Countries? Or kingdoms? Yeah, United Kingdom, hello. Right? Check it out. So we're trying to we're from Maui High, man, and we got, so we're just trying to get this one straight here. Continent, like Africa's a continent. Let me see, what else? Japan is a group of islands, but it's its own country. Correct? See? Let's think about this. People, if you're out there and you know what I'm talking about, this is what? High school freshman. Freshman year. Not even 8th grade for some schools.
So the UK is made up of 4 nations.
Oh, okay. The UK is made up of 4 nations. And what is that 4 nations? Ireland? Scotland?
England, Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland.
Northern Ireland. Wow, I got 2 out of 4. Not bad. Okay, so...
And then a nation is a stable community of people. That's
okay.
Just what it is. And then a country has its own government.
Okay, a country has its own government.
So I guess the UK, forms the government, and it's made up
of those
all these
4
little
kingdoms.
nations.
Oh, nations, right.
That don't have their own government.
Okay, all right. And so for Hawaii is what, a archipelago, right? It's not a continent, or it's an archipelago. Is that correct? We're trying to talk about that last one. I just wanted to continue that conversation because that was interesting.
I don't know.
Archipelago, right? It's made up of like about 1,000 islands, and it's all clustered along one sandbar or in the Pacific, something like that, right? Australia, continent. Yep. New Zealand, continent. Is New Zealand a continent? I know Japan is a bunch of islands, but that's their own country because they have their own government. And Okinawa is within the Japanese rule, right? So they're under Japanese government. So that means like Hawaii. Hawaii is under the U.S., right?
Yeah, we're part of their country.
Yeah. We're supposedly one of the states, and that's an issue that people can talk about. But yeah,
I guess we are an archipelago. I don't know what else it's described.
Yeah, that's just a bunch of islands, right? Okay, so let's get into this Hawaii deal here. Okay, we're a country. Well, we're actually a kingdom, but we're under a governing rule of the United States, right? And the United States, of course,
Is a country.
is a country.
Because, it forms a government.
Okay, so the Hawaii people being ruled under that governing entity, right? They're bound to their rules, basically. We have to follow the Sunshine State, right? We're under the California law. Try and check that out. I think a lot of our laws is like from with California, and which makes sense because we're the closest to California. Yeah, some interesting stuff here, man. You got to give us some time. We're looking this up. Sorry if it's being a little boring to everyone, but especially all you people who know all the answers to all this stuff that we're talking about. But yeah. What makes up? So Hawaii is a kingdom. Well, it used to be a kingdom with a king, queen,
Some monarch.
and then they were overthrown, right, by the U.S. corporate.
And then
They're
made
backed by the Marines
into
later.
a state of the country.
Then
right?
in the 50s, I think we were turned into we got statehood. Yeah. So and then we became a state of America, the good old U.S. of A. Okay, so, but as a result of that, right? Now our Hawaiian people are being what? They're poverty. We're going into poverty, right? A lot of them. I'm not saying all of them. There's a lot of successful Hawaiians out there, but a lot of them is going into like a impoverished type state. You know, we don't have much money. We don't have much opportunities. A lot of our jobs here is service jobs, right? So I was just thinking about ways of helping the homeless, especially the homeless Hawaiians, and or the Hawaiians who is stuck on welfare, and just solutions of that, because rightfully we're actually in our own kingdom here, right? So let's think of ways of how we could maybe help this out, and the reason why I was just thinking about this is because the last JRE Joe Rogan experience, he had a guest, Andy Yang, and Andrew Yang, he's running for presidency coming up, and he had a great idea of like making what they call a citizens incentive, which is paying pretty much all the Americans of the U.S. who is a citizen of the U.S. $1,000 a month and just to help curb the stress, to ease the economic stress and burden of our citizens, which is an awesome idea. You figure the U.S. alone makes trillions a year, yeah? So what's $1 billion to give to your people, to give them the incentive of taking risk and spending and being more involved in our community? You know what I'm saying? That makes sense, right? I mean, it doesn't solve everything, but like how he said, imagine if he won the presidency, right? And he got that law passed. I mean, first of all, who's going to refuse that law? What asshole would refuse to have their citizens collect at least $1,000 a month just for being a citizen of the U.S., right? What asshole would vote against that? So that's going to be exposed. It's a win-win situation, if you ask me.
You would have to make people buy, like, outsource. That would throw us into debt? Wouldn't you think so?
No. Okay, so
because are we in debt to China? So wouldn't you have to like buy? Well, I mean, I guess if you're buying stuff that are made in China from America, then it's like.
Yes, I'm not too keen with that type of trade and all that stuff.
How would that work? Like, how can you just give everybody $1,000?
Well, if you guys listen to that Joe Rogan experience with his guest Andrew Yang, he talks about that, and it does make sense, and it does make sense, and then the next thing he would do is he would try and lift a lot of the student loans from college kids who have that heavy weight on their back, even when they just graduate from college. You know what I mean? The college loans, he said, it sticks to you like a wet blanket. That thing, it's putting our people into a high stress situation where suicide rates is skying. I mean, You know, I see what you mean. You know, but I think it's doable. You can do that. Well, so anyway,
Exactly. They cut $1 billion off of
That's just-
military. What is that?
exactly.
Military
You know, there's a lot of departments that can ease up on the funding and put it into that. It makes more sense. And according to him, he said Alaska's been doing it for what 30 years. That the citizens of
Really?
Alaska, yeah, through their oil line, you know,
Wow,
the oil that they get a percentage per year,
I'm gonna-
and so they get a check every month. And also, I believe other nations are doing that. They do that with their citizens, and it's a perfect idea. And so I was just thinking about that. Okay, let's just throw this around in Hawaii now. So being that we are a recognized kingdom and that we were overthrown, right? 1893, I believe it was, right? Our queen willfully laid down their arms and said, "We will not fight against you," which is the smartest, awesomest thing to do, because that put us in a position where we can still recognize ourselves, you know, as a country, as our own kingdom. So with that in mind, being that Hawaii, I mean, don't they make like what, billions a year in tourism alone? You know what I'm saying? I'm sure a percentage of that can go to the Hawaiian people with no blood, what do you call that? Blood quantum, you know, without that blood quantum bullshit. Anyone who's Hawaiian, you can have a tiny bit of Hawaiian if you can prove it on your birth records. You know what I mean? And of course have some sort of genealogy connected to that. Then yeah, every Hawaiian. But, and this is my catch on it. Okay, so first of all, on tourism and on Hawaii exports, because we can grow 90% of the planets on this earth here in Hawaii. We should grow plants, right? Export our crops. The taxes and all that collected off of that, of course, we'll pay the federal government. We'll still have good ties with the federal government. The hell with the state government. We'll minimize state government and county, okay? It could be pushed down to a minimum. And that will be majority of the taxes off of people who's not Hawaiian that live here. They should convert all that money into a Hawaiian coin. Yeah, a Hawaiian coin. So any tourism that come here, anybody that wants to deal with Hawaii and you know what I mean, import or export, have to convert their US dollar to Hawaiian coin. Let's say $5 per Hawaiian coin, and we'll put the picture of our queen on that coin. Okay? Whenever you're in Hawaii, you got to deal with that coin. It's like Japan. You know, you got to convert your US dollars to, what is that? Yen, right? So why not have that here? And then a large percent of that revenue or of that monies that's made from that coin, right, will go to the Hawaiian people. Give them $5,000 a month, right? Just for being Hawaiian. And I'm just bringing up 5,000, you know, more or less, it doesn't matter, right? But what the whole idea is just, it just gives them that incentive, right? And
Make it easier. Yeah.
how's this though? You don't collect that full 5,000 until you turn 18 and you graduate from high school. You cannot be a dropout. GED would be fine. You start collecting half of that. You have to go to college and at least get an AA or some sort of skill set. You know what I mean? Some sort of trade, exactly. An electrician, plumber, carpenter. You cannot just graduate and be, hey, I'm going to collect money a month. No. You got to go to school. At least get an associate's and a high school diploma, right? Or GED, right? Because some kids, they struggle high school, but when they go to college, they do fine, and vice versa. So, why not have that, right? They'll have a skill set with the collection. They'll be educated. We'll have a happier society, happier, you know what I mean? The community will be raised up.
No, that's what they say. When you bring everybody to a certain, income, that's when people start getting involved in the community and then start taking steps to fix it.
Yeah, I think that would be one step to fix it.
That's the one thing, like when I was watching, I forget who I was watching, this scientist, Joe Rogan posted it, but he was saying that you can't even fix problems if you have too much of a low income,
Yeah, and Andy,
community.
that guy Andrew Yang, you guys got to listen to that podcast. It was so like he's on key, and even he said if you put someone in a situation where they're stressed out about their bills, they lose a percentage of their IQ. They lose that reasoning part. You lose that part. It's a known thing. They did a study and they showed that people who are delinquent on their bills, the stress from that alone, you know what I mean, takes away that a large percent of your reasoning in your brain functions. It's a trip.
That sounds doable. Look, 2017 Hawaii, only on tourism visitors alone collected 16 billion.
16 billion. Now you can't tell me that 1.5 billion of that money cannot just go straight into the Hawaiian people. You know what I mean? With the exception of those things.
Fixing just everything.
Just fixing
roads,
everything.
like you said, increasing farming.
You know, you take a small percent of that $10 billion that they're putting into that piece of shit monorail on Oahu, and you invest that into the community, into the people. You know what I'm saying? Now this also doesn't, exclude the people who are non-Hawaiians that was born and raised here. And especially if you go in 3 generations, 4 generations. If you're grandfathered in, let's say you're Filipino, but you've been here, your great-grandfather came here and your grandfather's lived here his whole life, your father's lived here his whole life, and you are here for your whole life, that should account for something. And those people should have the citizen incentive. You give them $1,200 a month just for being here, you know what I mean, for so many generations, and just for being here, period, born and raised here. But of course, you got to go to college, you got to get at least an AA or a skill, and you got to get that graduate, I keep saying graduate, high school diploma, So, that's I think that would help out a lot. Of course, there's a lot of big, what do you call that? Hands out there that's holding onto that cash. They ain't gonna let that shit go.
Imagine what a nice little side deal America get from this 16 billion that
you know how much creativity could come out of Hawaii. We're already a creative, awesome people, all of us, whether you're Hawaiian or not. If you know what I'm saying. But imagine the stuff that could come out of here that we could just bring to the world without a stress of how we're gonna live our daily lives. I can honestly say 80% of us people out here, Hawaiian and just local people alone, not Hawaiian, but living here, we're living paycheck to paycheck, man. We're all service jobs, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? People are paying to come visit the islands. That's our sale. That's the tourism sale. They're not coming here, they're coming here for the sun, the beaches, to enjoy this land. But you got to take care of the people that's from the land as well. And I think if you do, they will in return take care of others. Keep it that way. Sustained. Right. Caretake the place. But right now, they're killing us. They're killing us off with spam and fucking diseases, man. So people, we got to stop.
So good.
It is so good. Especially when you rub the guava jelly and you put them on top. But
they say when you put it in, like they did the spam inside the and they try to grow the plants.
Yeah,
the thing just dies.
It
just kills like all cells.
So that's what's happening, man. And we're getting diseases. You know what I'm saying? Diabetes is a big one, and that's because of drinks, sugar stuff, just sugar. Look, teriyaki plates,
rice.
Rice
is the main one.
That is. But hey, I'm just shooting this out there, for people out there to think about, because I honestly believe that if we have a president like this guy, Andrew Yang, who is going for presidency, and he does something like that, the morale of our people will go back up. And hopefully this would help curb our violence in our society. It's just a lot of good stuff that could come out of that, along with lifting the loans from our students, our poor kids who's trying to go to college. You know what I mean? Go for a big degree, like becoming an ophthalmologist or something, and then graduating, and then end up working at Hooters or end up working at You know what I mean? As a bartender. Nothing against those jobs, guys. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying. And the reason why, too, is because remember we were talking about AI and our opening song, Overloaded on Automation. AI is taking over, guys. It is. This podcast, the Joe Rogan Experience, that last one, man, he was talking about how the truckers industry, they're going to go down in the next 5 years. They're going to have computers driving themselves with a stationed operator. Like almost like a, what do you call those things that float around? Quinn, what is those things that float around?
Oh, what is that?
You want to shoot them out the sky? Oh, I'm such an old
Drone?
man. Drones! Everyone's like, oh, God, Ed. Hey, yeah. Drones. They're going to be able to drive trucks around like that. Delivery trucks. Computers don't get tired. Computers don't need breaks. They'll be able to deliver and get things, you know what I mean, from A to B a lot faster and time efficient wise. It's going to save money, but it's going to put a lot of people out of work. So, I don't know. It's a stressful situation. It's exciting because our technology is moving up and everything's moving up. But as a people, you know what I mean? How are we going to survive? How are we going to... And that's the questions that needs to be answered. And I don't know, man. It's kind of exciting, but scary.
That they just had this. It's a hunter drone ship sailed to Hawaii from California
and back on its own.
Yeah, nobody.
So
was
barges.
Crazy. It has like
they're not going to even need captains and all that for barges anymore. They're going to just computer straight to Hawaii. You know. I know. They said that radiologists. If you're studying to become a radiologist, I apologize for saying this, but you're going to be replaced. They're finding out computers can read the what do you call that? CT scans and X-rays and a lot faster and better than the human eye. Yeah, way more accurate. It's happening, you know. And then next thing you know, we're gonna have a fallout, and then 300 years later, we're gonna be living back in the old Stone Ages, Mad Max kind of stuff. Oh shit! But isn't that crazy? Yeah, I'm sorry for boring you guys, man. That's like 20 minutes of just political bullshit. That I know I don't like talking about politics, but I thought that was interesting, and I was just thinking, you know, we could do that too, you know, and we could get rid of the homeless here in Hawaii, especially the Hawaiians that are homeless, because that's just plain and simple. No can! Exclamation point! Exclamation point! Oh gosh, you know, local crimes also would go down, guaranteed. Local crimes, domestic violence, abuse. I think violence on a whole, we're already a fighting type of people. You know what I mean? And then now you're going to put us in a stressful situation like paying our damn bills, our phone bills. Please. We should have free phones. They give it to homeless.
Hey, they're tracking us anyways.
Right. Yeah, Hawaiians, at least Hawaiians should get free phones. There you go. That's a start right there. And I'll be the first in that line. Damn, I pay $80 a month. Pisses me off. Freaking guys. Anyway, moving on.
Bills.
Yeah, moving on. Hey, you know what? What this all comes down to is, you know that saying, happy wife, happy life, which I believe in. That's so true. You have a happy wife, you have a happy life. She makes the house happy, everyone's happy, and you get to eat dinner, you know? Well, happy Hawaiians, happy Hawaii, right? There you go. So that's my pitch. That's my pitch. Oh, entertainment. Let's get into the entertainment world. Oh, what? You have something to say, man? No? Entertainment.
Vote for Ed.
Dude, I don't even know what's a continent. What's United Kingdom? Actually, I got 2 out of 4.
First thing we gotta get off here. What's the difference?
Okay, entertainment. I saw the movie Overlord, a J.J. Abrams film. That movie was just amazing. Exciting, man. It's a roller coaster ride through a thrill house. I swear, from beginning to the end. It will have you on the edge of your seat. Great movie. And if you don't know what it's a movie about a bunch of guys going to France during World War II, and they discover something in a little town. Oh, you guys got to watch that movie. Anyway, I also saw the movie Alita. It's a freaking awesome movie. That kind of movie you want to watch with 3D glasses in an Omni theater. If you can get past the old butter popcorn smears on the lenses from the guy before you, you know what I mean. If you can get past all that and use those damn 3D glasses, this is a movie that you would want to see in 3D. It had the action and computer graphics like Ready Player One. You know, that whole race when they're racing and it's so fast and just all these things happening. This movie, Alita, it was just like that. It's half computer graphics, half people. And it's just amazing how they made them converge as one. And it looked like I just can't say enough about that movie. It was directed by Robert Rodriguez. And he did like Spy Kids and all those other adventurous type movies. He knows how to make a damn action movie, I tell you what. Whew, man. Usually I fall asleep during, like cartoon kind movies, you know what I mean? This is kind of like a cartoon movie because a lot of it was computer graphics. Man, it had me up from beginning to end. And yeah, you guys got to watch it. Dune reboot. And for all you 1980s kids out there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Dune with the spice. Remember, they had to go and mine for it on that one planet. And then they had those worms that came up and ate the ships. They rebooted that movie, dude. Oh, man. And the old Dune, they had Sting. Sting was one of the bad guys on that movie. And it's a sci-fi movie. And like I said, people out there, if you know what I'm talking about, you're going to go, whoa, what? Rebooted. Yeah, so they're recasting the entire cast. And they show it on, YouTube, I think it is? Yeah, YouTube. And yeah, the casting is pretty good. They're on it. And I guess they started filming already. So I'm excited to see that. Yeah, you ever heard of that movie?
No, you should watch it, no.
Yeah?
It's an old one, though?
Oh, it's an old one. But I think you guys would like it.
Like
old sci-fi.
What is that? Picture frame?
Worms. Well, yeah, kind of. Well, no, it's better than that. Yeah. It's better than that. But yeah, it is. It's like toy model kind. Where remember Empire Strikes Back, where they're flying out of the cave in the Millennium Falcon, and then when they fly out of the cave, that the monster boom and goes through. You can tell that was like a hand puppet kind of thing. It's kind of like that, like that kind of graphics. But it's good, man. It's a good movie, good story, and I think you'll like it. And also Aladdin, they remade Aladdin, and all those out there who might not know this, guess who the genie is? Anybody? Quinn?
I know.
Who?
Will Smith.
Yes, Will Smith. And he's actually very quick and witty, and he has a good. I don't know. I think he might be able to pull it off. What do you think?
Prince.
Yeah, Fresh Prince. He's funny, man. And even when he was in serious movies, he had that little funny thing about him. He had that witty thing about him. So I think he could pull it off. But like he said, trying to live up to Robin Williams. That animated version, that's going to be super hard.
Yeah.
Super hard.
That's like just what's in your mind, right? It's like,
yeah, that's always...
That's how you want him to be.
But, when I saw Mary Poppins, the new Mary Poppins, I kept expecting them to, pop out of chimneys and do similar stuff to the original. Yeah, they changed the entire thing. Now, don't get me wrong. It was great. It was awesome. And they really did connect with that, cartoon adventurous side of it too. But it was different. I don't know. But it was still good. Just different. Anyway, moving on. UFC and Bellator. Tonight, UFC. Kron Gracie versus Alex Caceres and Bruce Leroy, a.k.a. And I was hoping Bruce Leroy to at least take him to the second or third round. Spoiler alert out there for those of you who don't know, Kron Gracie, who is the son of Rickson Gracie, made his UFC pro debut tonight on ESPN. 40 seconds maybe in the first round. He got to Caceres' back and just gave him a chokeout clinic. He was cornered by Nate Diaz, the great Nate Diaz, and they're gonna be just killing. Oh man, you got Ben Askren, now you got Kron Gracie. Oh my God, the best wrestler, the best jiu-jitsu guys coming in. It's gonna be just full of craziness this next coming year, man. I tell you. Also, oh, what do we got here? Oh, yeah. There we go. He's showing the fights and just how fast, man. He just once he clamped on, that was it, and it was the beginning of the end. Also, I just wanted to announce for Bellator, Paul Daly versus Michael Venom Page. It was a good action-packed, but it went off into decision. Spoiler alert again. Venom Page is undefeated. He won by decision. And I guess so. He's a showboater. So, of course they're gonna side more for him. Paul Daly, I was kind of hoping you just knock him out like you wanted to, but hey, maybe next time, right? Hey, let's take this to UFC coming up. Let's take a break, man. Let's take a breath for this one. John Jones, he's versus Anthony Smith. This is gonna be a fight, guys, because Smith, I think he has a chance. He's got a good chance against John Jones, but John Jones is the GOAT, and he's unstoppable right now. He's back. He's back. Woodley versus Marty Usman. I that's gonna be a good fight too. Woodley has a way more powerful right hand, so that they're gonna go down, and that's another interesting fight. What a card, man! Cody Garbrandt versus Munoz. That's gonna be a banger right there. Munoz, he has a chance, just as good as Garbrandt does. And Lawler versus Askren. Ben Askren. I tell you what, it's gonna be like how Kron Gracie took out Caceres, man. He's gonna just go for the shoot, maybe get him with a double leg, climb up on him, put a ground and pounding on him. And I'm thinking TKO first round, referee stoppage. Yeah. Another fight on that card. Jeremy Stevens versus Zambit. Oh, that's going to be a fight. And like I said, USA, USA, USA. Go, Jeremy Stevens. Let's get this done. But Zambit is, I'm telling you, he's the Russian Bruce Lee, man. He's got all kinds of shit. So he's a dangerous cat. You seen that last knee bar he did to that guy? He was on the guy's back. The guy was trying to shake him off upside down, and Zambit reached between his legs, grabbed his foot, pulled it up, and the guy was stuck in a knee bar folded in half. It was just craziness, man. Craziness. Well, all of that coming to you guys March 2nd, Saturday in Las Vegas. Yeah, this is a card that you do not want to miss out on. And finally, tonight, I wanted to bring it up last, just so that some people out there who didn't get to see it yet, they get to watch it. And of course, spoiler alert, coming up, this is the same card that Kron Gracie was on just now. Cain Velasquez versus Francis Ngannou. And I'm going to tell you who won right now in about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Francis Ngannou, knockout, 30 seconds, first round. And everyone said that Cain's knee blew out or popped out. I could see that because he went down and he was like in excruciating pain. But part of that was that it looked like a left hand from Ngannou, man, and it just folded him back. Cain felt that left hand, and Ngannou is back, dude. He is back, and he's ready to rock. And I know he wants Derek Lewis and then Stipe. Guarantee. So, hey, the heavyweight division is building up to a crazy division, man. And with Daniel Cormier leading the pack, he's gonna collide with Ngannou, and it's gonna be a war. I can tell you that much right now. So, anyway, am I boring everyone out there with this one? Sorry about, the whole political thing, and I just want to get deep in a discussion that I know everyone would appreciate out there. And so, hey, if you guys have anything to talk about, give us a comment, right, Quinn? You've been quiet this whole time. What do you think? Was that too boring? Was that okay?
No, yeah, it was good. I like that one.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Making the Hawaiian coin with our beautiful queen's picture on it. Right.
What if we could do like a Bitcoin, like like a
Well, yeah, even a Bitcoin, but all of that would
currency.
be apply. All of that would apply. You could go, Bitcoin, the Hawaiian Bitcoin, any of that, and I think it'll benefit the people of Hawaii and just Hawaii in general. So, I mean, that's a lot of money they're making a year, right? Right, everyone? Hey, you know what? We're coming up on 35 minutes, so we got to end this podcast. But thank you for being here, and we hope to see you guys next week. In fact, what am I saying? Hope. We will see you guys next week. Until then, you can catch us on Facebook, YouTube. We was on Twitter, but we got currently taken off because when they asked us for our birthday, we put the birthday of the podcast, which is only about a year old, and they responded, sorry,
You're a baby.
You're a baby. You're supposed to be 13 or over to get a Twitter account. But when we fix that, you can find us on Twitter. Hey, YouTube, go to YouTube, subscribe, like and share. And I tell you what, mahalo. And this is Ed and Quinn coming to you loud from Maui. Shoots like that.